Adorable charms, you're most welcome to Everything Literature, where you get to learn about everything concerning drama, prose, the most inspiring poetry. Take a seat and enjoy the class.
Possibly you've been involved either in a school play, a church drama, or a theatre workshop. That means you're already familiar with the concept of stage art. And if you've not, then welcome to the world of drama, for it is time for action. In today's class, we're going to take a look at what is drama. That is, we'll take a look at the origin and some definitions. Also, we'll take a look at characteristics of drama and 8 basic types of drama. We have 3 major types of drama actually, but we'll just take a look at 8 types of drama generally. Okay, and without further ado, let's delve into the class. What is drama? The word drama comes from the Greek verb dran, which means to act or to perform. The origin of drama have been traced to wordless actions like ritual dances and mimes performed by dancers, masked players or priests during traditional festivals or ceremonies. Drama as a stage act. Drama is an adaptation, recreation, and reflection of reality on stage. It can be described as a stage act. It is a literary piece which in most cases involve action, and it's written by a playwright for characters, those we regard to as actors. It is meant to be performed on stage, in a theater, or on a platform, whereby characters get to use what we call dialogue and movement before an audience. It is very important to note that action is considered the most important element in drama. We have different elements, dialogue and likes, but action is said to be the most important. Why? Because drama cannot be said to be complete until it is acted out. There is a need for action to be informed. There is a need for action to be involved, and that's why in most cases we hear expressions such as action. That's just on a lighter note actually. According to some theories, drama goes beyond what we just see as action. Okay, so let's consider this. Based on his concept of mimesis, Aristotle defines drama as an imitation of an action. That is, drama attempts to imitate or reflect life as authentically as possible. However, Bertolt Brecht, who happens to be a scholar as well, insists that drama is not just an imitation of action, but a tool for the demonstration of social conditions. It is not just an entertainment, but an instrument of political and for political and social change. So Aristotle says it as an imitation of action, an imitation of realities. Okay, but Bertolt Brecht says it as something we should use as a tool, more as a tool for political change, for social change. Now, beyond the political or social changes we may intend to achieve through drama, in every drama, there must be what we call dramatic action and a willing suspension of disbelief. Now, what do we mean by dramatic action and suspension of disbelief? Dramatic action involves the facial expressions, the gestures, the movements, that is all involved in the action on stage. So you get to see the characters give a kind of facial expression or some kind of gestures or kind of movement around stage. Okay, and suspension of disbelief is the act of the audience to intentionally avoid critical thinking or logic while relating with a fictional work in order to enjoy it. So this simply means that when drama is going on, the audience kind of lower their level of critical thinking just for the sake of enjoyment, just to make it think that, okay, yes, I think what I'm watching right now is actually real, kind of, and we just assume that it's real. So that's what we refer to as suspension of disbelief. Like you just suspend your belief system at that moment, or your critical thinking skills at that moment. Okay, so there are some different manners by which we can actually put the term drama. we can see drama as a performance. Okay, so drama is used for plays that are acted on stage or screens. We can see drama as a composition. That is when you open a text and it's actually written either dialogues. Okay, then we can see that, oh, this is a drama text. Okay, drama is used to describe a dramatic composition which employs language and pantomime to present a story or series of events intended to be performed. And last but not the least, we can see drama as a branch of literature. Okay, it's one of the genres of literature, so it's used for the branch of literature that covers dramatic composition. So drama can be seen as a performance, and that's the best way we can see drama. Yeah, that's what makes it dramatic in nature, because when we perform it is when we know it's dramatic. And it's more as a composition as well. When we see a dramatic piece being written, we can easily differentiate it from a prose or a poem. And drama is also a branch of literature. The following are the characteristics of drama, or should I say the features of drama. 1. It is written in acting scenes. 2. It makes use of dialogue, that is, people get to talk. 3. It can be scripted or non-scripted, but in most cases, it's scripted. 4. It is action-centered. Action is central to it. We must, or the characters must, put up an action, must do something. Okay. 5. It makes use of dramatic personnel, that is, list of actors and actresses who perform the drama. 6. It is best appreciated when acted on the stage or in a theater. 7. It involves much of impersonation and imitation. Okay, so we get to have characters put up a kind of characterization. Okay, so someone who is actually a young man may get to act like an old man. Okay, so that's more or less like a kind of impersonation. Then imitation has to do with someone trying to imitate the way how a person would have behaved in reality. So let's move to types of drama. So the 3 major types of drama are the ones in bold. We have comedy, we have tragedy, and tragi-comedy. Okay, and the other ones that we'll be taking a look at is dramatic folktales, closet drama, satire. Satire, obviously you can see that when we talk about prose, sometimes we can see it as a satire. So satire is not really something you can pinpoint as a particular type of drama, but most times we can see it as a type of drama. We have mime, pantomime, a damn show. We have burlesque, and on a burlesque we have it to be maybe form of a parody or a travesty or slapstick. So let's get to explore each of these individually. Comedy. Comedy is a type of play full of good and happy-lighted events. It usually ends on a happy note. This is the general way we do think of comedy. We don't want to bring in the theoretical perspective of people like Aristotle and the likes now. Okay, so just see comedy as a play or a drama that is full of good and happy lighted events. Okay, things are just good, things are just happy lighted, and it's usually end on a happy note. Very good example of this is Wole Soyinka's The Lion and the Jewel and Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. Comedy has the following types. So this is where we have the subtypes of drama, and I would really appreciate if you can pay attention, very close attention. Okay, so we have the higher comedy and the lower comedy. That's the first two we're going to consider now. Higher comedy. This is a simple but serious comedy with noble characters and elevated dialogue, which the main aim is to appeal to the intellect and arouse thoughtful laughter by showing inconsistencies and disagreements in human nature. This is actually leading to like a theoretical definition of comedy itself, because comedy has to do with its portrays inconsistency of human nature. But higher comedy is actually meant for the intellect, and it's kind of portray kind of serious comedy, a serious level of comedy, and the aim is just to arouse thoughtful laughter, not just anyhow kind of laughter, but a thoughtful laughter. Then we have the lower comedy. Lower comedy is a type of comedy that lacks seriousness compared to the higher comedy. It's like lower comedy lacks seriousness of purpose and has little appeal to reasoning. So lower comedy is just comedy for comedy's sake, so to say. The main features include misunderstandings, abuses, fighting, and drunkenness. It's like the opposite, obviously the opposite of higher comedy. We have some other types of comedy. We have the romantic comedy. In a romantic comedy, serious and unpretentious love is the major concern and interest. True love is the main drive in this type of comedy. The play makes very good use of intrigues, leading to reconciliation, happiness at the end. Examples of such play includes William Shakespeare's example that was mentioned earlier, Midsummer Night's Dream. Then we have comedy of manners. A comedy of manners is concerned with satirizing society's manners. A manner is a method in which everyday duties are performed, conditions of a society, or a way of speaking. So this is just like a form of satire. It wants to portray some certain things in the society. So comedy of manners usually employ an equal amount of both satire and farce, resulting in a kind of hilarious setup of a particular social group. A very good example of what comedy of manner is found in Sheridan's The Rivals. Okay, and the last two we'll take a look at under types of comedy will be sentimental comedy and also farce. Okay, sentimental comedy. Sentimental, the word sentimental simply means evoking feelings. In sentimental comedies, middle-class protagonists triumphantly overcome a series of moral trials. These plays aim to produce tears rather than laughter, and they reflect contemporary philosophical concepts of humans as inherently good but capable of being led astray by bad examples. So this more or less like the theoretical aspect of comedy. Okay, and farce. This is a drama that is full of ridiculous events intended to make people laugh. So while sentimental is not actually to make people laugh, but actually to produce tears, farce on the other hand, has to do with a drama that is full of ridiculous events. Think of how ridiculous it can just imagine it. Okay, so it's intended to make people laugh. It's a comedy of extravagant humor. It makes use of amusing characters called clowns, who are considered at times as stupid. Like, makes use of clowns a lot in farce. And the next one, tragedy. Tragedy is a play that is serious, full of sadness, and ends mostly in death or bloodshed or other forms of calamity. That means a tragedy does not end well. It's as simple as that. While comedy ends well, a tragedy doesn't end well. It doesn't end the way we expect it. So, for example, we have Olarotime's The Gods Are Not to Blame. The Gods Are Not to Blame. Then we have subtypes of tragedy. We have classical tragedy. This more or less a tragic play of ancient Greeks or Romans. Modern tragedy models upon Greek or Roman classicism, and maybe everything can be classified as classical tragedy. So, for example, we have the works of Sophocles and some other Euripides and Aeschylus. These are like the classical guys. We would definitely have a class on types of tragedy, particularly studying the classical guys. Okay, modern tragedy. This is a form of tragedy that consciously breaks the traditional forms and techniques of the classical tragedy. It's more or less like the opposite of classical tragedy. Okay, so modern tragedy is not reserved. It sometimes has anticlimax. The protagonist is modern. In modern tragedy, may not even die, and there is no catharsis. So this is more or less like an experimental kind of tragedy, just to oppose the classical tragedy. Very good example of this is Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman. Like, it's one of my best. Okay. So we have other types of tragedy. We have the revenge tragedy, we have the domestic tragedy, and the melodrama. You may get to ask, why would we classify these under tragedy. Well, we get there. Now, revenge tragedy. This is a dramatic genre in which the protagonist seeks revenge for an imagined or actual injury. Revenge tragedy features scenes of carnage and mutilation, so it's more or less like they're trying to have a revenge. A typical example is William Shakespeare's Hamlet, okay, where Hamlet tries to revenge avenge the death of his father. Okay, thereabout. Domestic tragedy. This is a kind of tragedy that deals with domestic life of middle class rather than royal or noble ranks. It concerns family affairs rather than public matters of the state. Okay, so it's more or less like it focuses on the family. Okay, the audience then work out why particular characters behave the way they do. Next one, melodrama. Okay, so melodrama somehow may not be classified under tragedy sometimes, okay, because it has to do with a little bit of excitement, okay, but the most important thing is just find a way to put these types of drama in perspective so that we can get them. Okay, so melodrama, this is a sensational or romantic drama. It is meant for the purpose of creating excitement, sensation, and shock in the audience. In this type of drama, a character may jump from a 10-story building and drive a car into the sea. As a result of this, melodrama cannot convince any audience to believe in it. So the aspect of suspension of disbelief, remember that we mentioned earlier, may not really be utilized at this point because melodrama seems to exaggerate a lot. It's kind of exaggerated drama. Okay, one will be tragi-comedy. Tragi-comedy is a play that possesses the features of both tragedy and comedy and often ends on a happy note. So, a very good example is Shakespeare's Winter's Tale. Okay, so it combines the element of both tragedy. It may start on a very sad note but ends happily, kind of. Okay, then next one, dramatic folktales. This is a folktale told in the form of acting. In this type of drama, the narrator of the story acts out the roles, switching from character to character as it tells the story. An example of such a drama happens to be the ones portrayed on network programs, on TV stations, okay? And it has to do with tales by moonlight, moonlight tales, kind of. Closet drama. This is a drama that is read rather than performed on the stage. So most of the drama text that we have at home on our bookshelf, they can be classified as closet drama because they are actually being read. Some of them have been performed on stage, the real sense of it. But when you read a drama text and not being acted out or not being performed on stage, then you're actually relating with a closet drama. Okay. Satire. It has been explained. A satire, a type of drama which shows the ills of the society and the foolishness of human beings in a light-hearted manner with the aim of correcting it. So the aim of satire is to portray the ills and actually to correct it, not just to portray it alone. Okay, so a very good example of this is Franco Dogo's A Harvest of Corruption. Okay, I love that text. I'm citing it as an example here. Then number 7, we have mime, pantomime, or dam shop. So mime, pantomime, or dam shop, it's more or less like 3 different names that relate to the same thing. Okay, because in this type of drama, the use of gesture alone is used without words. Okay, you demonstrate your intentions with the use of gestures without any words. You don't say anything. Okay, I remember watching Mr. Bean while growing up. Okay, so kind of, or should I say Tom and Jerry, whereby they just move here and there, gestures here and there, without saying anything. Now, then we have burlesque. Burlesque is a kind of comic writing. It's the mockery of a serious matter or style, achieved by dealing with a subject in a deliberately funny manner, like hilarious manner. Okay, so a burlesque actually portrays the ills of a society as well, the folly of human beings in a funny manner, but not with the aim of correcting it. It's just to portray it, just for the sake of fun, the fun aspect of it. Travesty is the mockery of a subject by treating it in an absurdly love style. Okay, the play put on by the rude mechanicals within Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream is a well-known example. Okay, so it's more or less like a mockery of a subject in a low style. So in most cases, we have travesty being achieved as a form of play within play, dramatic technique. Slapstick is a broad comedy with knockabout actions, fighting, clown people falling over each other, and so on. So to a reasonable extent, we can even still subsume some of these types of drama under maybe comedy or tragedy. Okay, because if we take a look at it, slapstick, parody, burlesque, it's more or less like something funny, which we can still subsume them under comedy. But I just decided to discuss them separately so that we don't get lost, because under comedy we already discussed high comedy, low comedy, romantic comedy, comedy of manners, sentimental comedy, and possibly farce as well. And under tragedy, we've already discussed classical tragedy, modern tragedy, talking about the works of Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman, and we talked about revenge tragedy, domestic tragedy, and we talked about some other types of drama. We have the dramatic folktales, like the Moonlight Tales we do watch maybe on the screen, and we have Tragi-comedy, then the closet drama, the ones that we read and not actually see on stage. Then we have satire, pantomime, and burlesque. Okay, so with this, we've come to the end of the class, and today's class we've been able to take a look at what drama is all about, and that the word drama comes from the Greek verb dran, which means to act or to perform. The origin of drama have been traced to ritual performances. Okay, drama, we said, is an adaptation, recreation, or reflection of reality on stage. From the idea of mimesis, Aristotle defines drama as an imitation of an action, while Bertolt Brecht views drama as a tool for the demonstration of social conditions. When we said action is a most important element in drama, drama can be conceptualized as a performance, a composition, or as a genre of literature. And we talked about types of drama, which includes comedy, tragedy, tragi-comedy, closet play, satire, mime, burlesque, under which we have parody, travesty, slapsticks, and the likes. Okay, so with these, I believe you've been able to learn one or two things from today's class. Do to hit the subscription button or click on the notification bell. Immediately we have more videos and everything literature. You get to be the first person on board to get notified. Do to leave a comment in this comment section below should you have any need for clarification or question on any of the types of drama, or possibly the definition of drama being discussed in today's class. See you in the next class.